Hey, what's up guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic whatever day today is. I don't know, what is today? It's Thursday here. So I don't know, I'll try to get this video out today. Maybe it'll actually be Thursday when the video goes out. So tell me, how many of you guys are watching any of the World Cup games? Anybody showing any interest in the World Cup games? You guys probably know I'm a crazy football/soccer fan. You'll see in a majority of my videos I'll have a shirt on. Like right now you can see I have a Manchester United shirt on right now. So I absolutely love soccer and so excited every single 4 years when the World Cup starts up to be able to try to watch every single one of the games. So I've been trying to watch as many as I possibly can. So I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Even though the US didn't even make it this year, that really doesn't deter me from watching it. There's just too many awesome players to watch. So what are we doing today, Jason? Why are you filming today? What is so exciting that you have got to film? Well, it's been like over a year and like 3 or 4 months since I made my first video kind of showing you guys the fish room. So I thought what I would do is I would go around and I would show you the fish room again, but not tank by tank, more show you the mechanics of what's going on. Water changes, heating, cooling, blah, 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 all the stuff behind that. I know whenever I was trying to build a fish room, I was trying to watch videos, trying to understand how they did different things, and it's like almost every video would always kind of be missing a little something. So get ready, I'm probably gonna miss a lot of things. So stand back and let's go around and see what's happening in Jadren's fish room. All right, so my camera is rocking like nuts. The last thing I want this thing to do is fall off, so let's see if we can't tighten that pup up. All right, we are tightened up and ready to go. Okay, so let's start here. So currently in my fish room, I have, see if we can, I've got 51 aquariums total. I think I have 50, then I have 155 inside also. You guys can kind of get a quick glimpse of what's going on in here. And if you'll notice, on every single one of my aquariums, I've got a number on them. That way I can keep up with what is going on in each aquarium. So if you come over here, we'll see this. And some of you guys may remember I own a printing company, so I can do a lot of cool things like this. So I've actually made this book. In this book, each page is for a different aquarium. So I've got the tank number up at the top, and then I've got dates where I do water changes. You can see at the first when I was cycling the tanks. You can see when I was measuring ammonia, nitrite, pH. Whenever we add fish to a tank, I can put additions. You know, maybe special foods. I just try to put a bunch of different things in here. Deaths, births, again, here's water changes, and then just other. And then I try to keep up at the top what the heck I have in there. And so you can see for every one of my aquariums, I've got pages and pages and pages. This allows me to be able to go back and check on the tanks and see exactly what I've done with them, whether I had some type of disease breakout, or whenever I added fish, or whenever I had babies, or maybe just to remember what the heck is in the tank. And you'll also notice on most of the tanks, I've got these stickers. Again, run my own print shop, so try to make stickers for everything that's in the tanks so I can remember what the heck is actually in there. Okay, next of all, let's talk about filtration. So if you'll notice, in every single one of my aquariums in here, you'll see sponge filters. Every tank has sponge filters. If you'll notice in some of them, like these right here, like this tank, see that one's not connected and that one's not connected. I have a bunch of those in multiple tanks. Those are simply to stay cycled so that whenever I want to start up another tank, I can just grab that out of there and not have to worry about the tank cycling. So got these exact same sponge filters are in every single one of my aquariums. These are Hydro 5s. I buy all of these from, I buy almost all my supplies from oh my gosh, I just forgot the name. Man, I'm getting old. I don't know. You guys know what it is. It'll come to me in a minute, and then all of a sudden, I'll just scream it out. Okay, so, oh wait, there it is on the actual pump, Jimco. Sorry, Jimco. So this pump up here, this is the air pump that I have that is supplying all the air to each one of these. This pump is an 80 PSI, I think. And then you'll see that it's connected to this 1.5 inch PVC pipe that I have going around the entire fish room. And so you can see how I have each one of them drilled and tapped for these hose barbs that the hose is hooked to, and then go down to each one of the sponge filters. This pump right here, I've noticed that some of the deeper tanks struggle with getting enough pressure to them. So this pump has, let's come right here to the back side and look. This pump has 8 outlets on it. So I started unhooking some of the tanks that I have on this side and putting them on that pump to alleviate some of the lack of pressure that I have on the other aquarium. So that's worked absolutely perfectly. Okay, so you'll see here, this is a simple battery backup. Well, it's not a simple one. It's actually it's one of the nicer ones. This one, if the electricity goes out, this one will power that one pump for like 30 or 45 minutes. There's something weird with it where it won't work with my Jimco pump, but I have a brand new generator, like a 4,000 watt generator that I've yet to use that I have in the garage. So if worst case scenario, I can always get that thing going. So I've got some type of backup in here. And a generator that size will allow me to run every single thing in the fish room with no problem. Okay, so the next thing is, how do you control air conditioning and heat in here? So first of all, the room that we are in, since I'm in Texas, I do not have a basement like everybody else. I have a garage. So I took about 60% of my garage and walled it off. And then on this side, you'll see another wall. And this is not the outside wall of the house because there's a hot water heater back behind here, and I didn't want to close that in. So I just put a wall right here, which actually makes it a little bit easier to insulate. And let me tell you, these are not the greatest walls in the world. They are so far from being square, it's ridiculous. They're not the most insulated ones that there are either, but I don't really have much trouble as far as heating and cooling. Okay, so heating and cooling. So first of all, I have one vent you'll see up here. This is actually tied into the central air. We have our bedroom stays really cold when the air conditioner's on and stays really hot when the heater's on. So I decided years ago to undo one of them. So I took that one that I undid and tied it in here to the garage. Now that doesn't do enough at all. That's just does a little bit. So what I have here is this is a portable air conditioner slash heater that has a heat pump on it. I think it's 12,000 BTUs. So this thing is what heats and cools this entire room. You can see that it's vented. It's vented actually up into the attic, so all the hot air or all the cold air goes up that way. This thing actually doesn't even run that much. Once it kind of gets balanced in here, it kind of holds its temperature really, really well. With all these tanks in here, they act as an insulator also and help keep the temperature regulated at all the time. I keep this room about 82 or 83 degrees, which means almost all of my tanks usually stay at around 79. There you go, look at there, exactly 79 degrees. Almost all my tanks stay around about 79 or 80 degrees, except for this tank right here. This is the only tank in the entire room that has a heater on it, because this one I try to keep at about 83 because it has rams in it, and at one time I had a few discus that didn't work out. Discus were my plan at first, and plans have changed. Okay, so that is it for filtration, heating, air conditioning. So the next thing let's deal with is lighting. You guys have probably seen multiple ones of my videos where I did some of my DIY lighting. The DIY lighting, we'll take a look down here and you can see this. These are the ones where I've just used the LED light bulbs that are like basically 100-watt light bulbs, and then I used a rain gutter to hook them all together. And they work great for a while, but those bulbs are literally designed to go for like 50,000 hours, and they don't. I've had multiple ones go out. I just got to the point I just don't like them that much anymore. So I started buying the Aquaneat lighting. That's the ones you'll see up here on this aquarium. Ow, that was very, very hot. So I even said in one video that I'm not ever going to replace all of my LED light bulbs. Well, I've changed my mind now. So every single light that you see in here, except for the one that I showed you, are now the Aquaneats. So I have, I don't know, 20 something of these Aquaneat lights, and I absolutely love them, and I'm extremely glad that I have changed those over. So, got the lighting covered. This down here, this is actually something new I just bought. This is a brine shrimp hatchery. I had a homemade one that was made out of a 2-liter bottle, and I don't know, I just got aggravated with it. It was kind of difficult to clean. So I went ahead and dropped the 50 bucks and went ahead and bought one that's already been made in a cone shape, and it's a million times easier to clean out. It just quickly pops off and disassembles. It's hooked to my air line, so that's what's pumping air into it right now. I just put those eggs in there, so that one is good to go. You can see underneath all my shelves here, I've got a lot of space to keep stuff stored, all my extra PVC fittings and everything else that I can possibly need, almond leaves and other rock that I haven't put in the tanks yet. So next thing, let's talk about water changes. So what you'll see right here, this is a 40-gallon trash can. I've got another one exactly like this. This is where I take my water and put it in. I have right outside of this door, you see this damage right here? This was about 15 years ago when I had a black lab that I had out here in the garage, and no, fireworks are going off, and she went absolutely nuts, and she literally tried to eat her way into the house, and I've never fixed that. So it's beautiful, isn't it? So the 40-gallon trash cans here, again, I fill them up, and then inside that door right there, that is where my washer and dryer is. So I have a hook up there where I can take the water and bring it out here, and it makes it really, really easy to put water in these. And then all I do is put prime in them, and that's all I do now. I don't do any other type of additives. And then whenever I want to get water to the aquariums, you'll see I have I've got just a normal like 900 GPH pump, and then I've got enough. Let's see if we can see it here. I've got enough hose that I can get to any aquarium, so I can just take it on here, hang it in here, and pump the water. And one of the greatest things I have, if you do not have one of these, you have got to get one, because there will be something you'll be able to use it for. That's this remote control right here. This remote control goes to this box right here. So when you push the on button, it turns this thing on, which turns my pump on. So I can hold that remote control wherever I'm at and turn the water on and turn it off. So I'm not having to run back and forth and try to unplug things. That's something I bought off of Amazon for like $12, and it's worth like $1,000 to be able to quickly operate that. Okay, so we got that down. So now you want to know how am I draining the tanks? Am I just sticking a hose in there and sucking water out of them? No. Actually, I have a few tanks that are still like that, but almost every single tank I have has this device in it right here. You can see this PVC pipe that goes. Let's start in the tank here. So you can see the PVC pipe there that goes in and has like a little sponge filter on there to keep any fish from getting sucked up. That thing goes over the top here, and then goes down to this this fitting right here. So right now there is water in here. So when I first put this on there, I started a siphon and then turned this gate valve off. So there's water in here at all times. So all I have to do is simply turn this on, and it'll start the suction and start just pouring water out of the tank. And you'll see on the other tanks over there, they all have the same thing also. And then if you look down where they connect into, that is my drainage pipe. It's set at just a slight angle. It runs all the way to the back wall. And then on that one over there, it runs along the back side of the aquariums. And then comes out here. Yes, it's in the way of the door, but there's no possible way to avoid that. So luckily, I haven't tripped over it yet, but obviously you can see it's not in the greatest place whatsoever. And so both of them come out into this 20-something gallon Rubbermaid container here. And then inside this container, you will see a sump pump. And then also back in the back, it's kind of hard to see, I've got a bulkhead in there that has a 3/4 inch hose that runs to the front yard. So as this thing fills up with water, the water first starts running out the hose and runs out into my yard and waters the yard. The sump pump has a pump that pumps through the wall, and then I have a doggy door outside, and it pumps into a water sprinkler system that I built that's mounted onto the walls. So whenever this thing starts really flowing and the sump pump comes on, it pushes enough water out there and waters a part of my backyard. So all my water gets at least used instead of just sending down the drain. It makes it to the yard at some point in time. All right, well, I think that's about everything that's in here right now. You guys probably look around, you see some stuff different. Like we got a tank missing up here. We've got some kind of new stand happening over here. So I'm making a lot of changes. So in the next video, we'll get to talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so again, you want to stay tuned for the next video because I'm going to be able to show you guys all the changes that I'm making. Whenever you have a fish room, the thing constantly evolves because you're constantly finding better ways to do things, or you're getting tired of certain fish and you want to bigger tanks, smaller tanks, whatever it is, it's constantly changing. So there's a lot of things that I want to change. So I'm about to put a tremendous amount of time into making a ton of changes. I'm excited about it because I love doing projects in the fish room. I don't know what it is. It's relaxing to come out here and have projects to do, and there not be really any time limit, so I can do them at whatever speed that I want. So thank you guys so much for stopping by again. I really appreciate each one of you guys. Be sure and get on your TV and watch the next World Cup game. You don't want to miss it. If you haven't subscribed to me already, be sure and hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell so you can know whenever I release a new video. And thank you guys so much for stopping by, and God bless.